Hey guys, welcome back to another kit video. This kit video, we are looking at my Silverback SRS sniper. Yes, we're not a sniper channel, but I thought I'd cover this one anyway because I'm pretty excited about it and I love the mod that I've put in. So this mod came onto my radar, big courtesy and thanks to Al from Fat Badger Airsoft. I'll put a link to his Facebook channel down there somewhere. Facebook page. And basically this is my go-to when I play outdoors. I play behind this. It's fantastic. I absolutely love it. It's really accurate and it shoots a long way. As far as snipers go, I think it's perfect. It suits me perfectly. So really, I didn't want to touch this thing. I like the entire setup. However, one of the things which has always bothered me is the bolt pull. Not that it's difficult. It's got one of the Rapax springs in, so it's pretty easy to pull. But when you actually get it back, there was just a bit of a tug. So I'll put this onto my radar. He bought one of these mods, fitted it and said, oh my God, Steve, you need to try this. So what is it? It's the Open Sear. So what I'll do is I will just state that the Open Sear is £25. That's 25 quid. That's the price of a magazine. That's about the price of, you know, kind of a match trigger, for example. So it's not an expensive mod, but it's definitely something you should look into doing if you have one of these rifles. This is the old Sear, which I removed. So the way that this works is it sits in your gun like that. There's a little spring under there and it pushes it up. And when your piston comes back, your piston just, the back lip of your piston just sits against the sear there. So when you put it back, it goes click. So when you pull that trigger and you go pull, the sear goes tilt. Pull, tilt, same time, like that. And then your piston just goes woof, flying off because you're not holding it back anymore. Great. The problem that you have with the Bolt Pull though is as your piston comes back, that lip has to push its way down over this sear. So this sear needs to do that. But to do that, your trigger kind of needs to do that. So what you end up doing is you end up pushing against the linkage. And you can just see on this one that in this top corner here, that the hole is just starting to deform a little bit. I mean, the rifle's the best part of 3 years old, so it's going to happen. And it has to kind of fight against the linkage. So your linkage runs the whole length of the body here and back into your trigger box. So when you pull it back, the piston comes and you're not only are you kind of pulling the piston over that lip, fighting against this spring, you're also pushing your linkage forwards just for that momentary click so it can come back in. And that's what you're kind of fighting against. Now with the Open Sear, this whole back end is open. The trigger linkage isn't contained because it is actually contained within this. It's held firmly. And this whole back end is missing. So you're kind of missing that part there. And what that allows the sear to do is when this piston comes back is the linkage, which normally hooks into here. And when you normally pull it, it goes clink like that. What it actually does is it allows it to go clink and your linkage stays the same. Then when you pull the trigger, boom, it pulls on it. So that's how the linkage works, and that's how the sear works, and it makes a massive difference. It's taken the bolt pull from I mean, anyone who's used one of these will know what I'm talking about. When you pull the bolt pull, it comes back, and you've got to go just to get it over the end. It's just click, click. If you ran HPA with one of these things, it'd almost be semi-auto. That's how much of a difference it makes. For a £25 mod, I'm a little bit surprised that Silverback didn't start fitting them as standard. Fair play, it's their marketing strategy. If not, don't really care, don't know why, don't particularly care. For a £25 mod, it's so worth doing. So there we go. I didn't do it on camera because I've got a newborn baby and time is quite precious, and finding the time to actually record one of these things is a bit of a nightmare. However, what I have done, whilst the clamshells are apart, because you have to undo all these bolts and kind of take the clamshells off, so you just have the body remaining. Where there were voids naturally through it as well is I've filled those out with some kind of cotton wool, just some wadding, just to try and dull the sound down a bit more. It's not a loud rifle, you can barely hear it anyway, but for me, it's just finished it up that little bit. I knew it wasn't done, I knew it was hollow, so a part of me kind of knew there'd be a little bit of echo, but now I've got rid of that. Will I notice the difference on the field? Probably not, no. Will anyone else notice the difference on the field? Definitely not, no. But in my head it's there, and confidence is a massive thing with a lot of this stuff. You've got to have confidence in your kit, and I now am even happier with my SRS. So there we go. Can't wait for my next outdoor session with this thing, just so I can, really put this here through its paces. We've got it all adjusted absolutely perfectly, and this thing is running absolutely crisp. So yeah, I will hopefully catch you out on the field. As always, please hit that like button. Please drop me a comment if you've got an SRS or you're into sniping or you're thinking of getting one. Please just speak to me. Love talking about my snipers and stuff. I was a sniper before I got anywhere near high cappers, that kind of thing. So yeah, I'll waffle on about sniping all day long with you. And obviously the gold standard is hit that sub button to get yourself onto the list. You'll see my weekly content, which generally is kind of an all-rounder about everything. We've got some reviews, we've got some parts, fittings, we've got some of this kind of thing, and even a bit of gameplay now and again as well when I do finally manage to get out with my GoPro. Thank you very much, and I will catch you in the next one.